Moving on to other stories now, U.S. washing machine manufacturers played the victim card and pushed for safeguard measures with their Korean rivals in mind. Many analysts agree the decision is anything but fair to companies striving to provide the best products to consumers. Cha Sang-mi dissects the latest in brewing trade conflicts.
In April this year, the U.S. Commerce Department increased anti-dumping tariffs to nearly 25% on oil well pipes and tubing products from Korean steelmakers. In September, the U.S. International Trade Commission began safeguard measures to impose heavy tariffs on solar panel imports from Korea. And earlier this year, the U.S. ITC announced that a surge of washing machines from Korean conglomerates was harming local U.S. firms. The 4-0 vote in favor of Whirlpool, a U.S. home appliance manufacturer, came after the corporation had filed a safeguard petition in May against Samsung and LG Electronics. During the course of this year, the U.S. has appeared to be building a trade wall against Korean products. Among the 190 import restrictions against Korea, the U.S. has 23 in place and another 8 pending. The recent spike in restrictive measures by the U.S. means that when it comes to trade restrictions against Korea, the U.S. now shares first place with India.
The U.S. has increased the number of import restrictions recently from an average of 1 or 2 per year to 7 cases against Korea during just the first half of this year alone. Judging by the way these safeguard measures have come about, the U.S. seems to be pulling out all the restrictive measures it has.
The World Trade Organization defines safeguard measures as emergency actions in respect to increased imports of particular products where such imports have caused or threatened to cause serious injury to the importing country's domestic industry. The U.S. government has made several attempts to protect its domestic industry from imports. The safeguard measures, the strongest of all import restrictions, haven't been used in 16 years, but they could be about to make a comeback. Then why is the U.S. pushing for tougher and tougher import restrictions?
We may predict that President Trump is using this hardline policy to facilitate Korea-US FTA talks, but this goes way further. Safeguard measures against Korea cannot be separated from other issues, as Trump always sees problems in a package.
It's true that Korean products have taken a bite out of Whirlpool's market share recently, but Whirlpool is still big, and they're saying this in America too, that for Whirlpool it's not about competition but protection, and that they filed the petition knowing Trump favors protectionism.
Whirlpool argues that it has experienced serious industrial damage over the past 3 years, with a 3% fall in their market share due to its Korean rivals. But this allegation is only valid when the products in question fall in the same market.
Whirlpool's washers are fundamentally different in size and model from those of Samsung or LG. Whirlpool's products are large in size and low cost. Samsung and LG flagships thus cannot be called Whirlpool's competitor as they do not share the target market.
With the ITC backing Michigan-based Whirlpool, a public hearing is to take place on October 19th on possible remedies with respect to the safeguard. By the end of November, the Commission will come up with its safeguard measures before submitting recommendations to President Trump by early December. President Trump then has 60 days to make his final decision on the matter.
Our government and the private sector decided to submit a written statement before the public hearing. We have also discussed the reasoning behind it, which we will present during the hearing.
Yet experts say much more than washing machines seem to be at stake.
Anti-dumping and anti-subsidy duties and safeguard measures are all completely different to trade experts, but from Trump's perspective, all these measures are nothing more than tools that can be used to boost his approval rating.
With more and more U.S. trade restrictions being placed on Korea, experts say President Trump's visit to Seoul on November 7th could be a game changer for Korea's future economic direction. Cha Sang-mi, Arirang News.